Pope! Pope!
The following witness statements are just the crest of a wave of evidence accumulated in the investigation in the case of the People versus Robert Prevost, which commenced June 2nd of this year by the International Common Law Court of Justice. This case involves the culpability of Robert Prevost, aka Pope Leo XIV, for planning and perpetrating crimes against humanity and a criminal conspiracy, trafficking, raping, torturing, and murdering men, women, and children, facilitating the illicit drug trade, obstructing justice, and participating in the human sacrificial cult known as the Ninth Circle.
Well, folks call it the Ninth Circle of Hell.
Operate under different rules in the Ninth Circle.
They're cannibals!
The Ninth Circle, as expressed by Dante's Inferno, is called the Well of the Giants, or Circle of Traitors. In the 32nd and 33rd cantos of the Divine Comedy, Dante describes the deepest depths of hell where man and Lucifer devour human flesh in satanic savagery. The Ninth Circle today is the pinnacle of the hierarchy within universal Freemasonry. The initiated embrace the beast and in exchange for pleasure and power commit themselves to depraved acts. This interim report summarizes some of the salient evidence uncovered by the prosecution. The report's findings are based on the sworn affidavits and testimonies of 10 eyewitnesses, including 5 survivors of the Ninth Circle, a Vatican employee, an informant in the Italian government, an Interpol investigator, a research scientist with Pfizer, a former member of the support network enabling the Ninth Circle. The report's findings are also derived from Vatican documents, including an archived log chronicling the dates, locations, and participants of Ninth Circle ceremonies held since December of 1869. From previously concealed records of Interpol and European courts, from research data of Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and from video and photographic evidence provided by participants of Ninth Circle ceremonies. Succeeding the historic prosecution and expulsion from office Pope Benedict in February 2013, the court is empowered under international law to prosecute, convict, and punish the 13 defendants named in this case. Full case file and updates can be found at murderbydecree.com. This report was issued on August 8th, indicting Pope Leo, King Charles, President Trump, NATO Chief Mark Rutte, the Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla, and 8 others. September 1st, the trial proceedings began. September 5th, the court suffered a major cyber attack and 2 magistrates were physically assaulted. September 8th, subpoenas were issued to each defendant. September 13th, Trump appointed a new ambassador to the Vatican. September 30th, Trump and Pfizer launched Trump RX. October 6th was judgment and sentencing. We all know what has occurred over these past couple of months. We should be factoring this into our calculations into what the hell is going on. With global conflict, Agenda 2030, and technocracy on the horizon, we find ourselves wading through a sea of propaganda, psyops, algorithms, and political theater, constantly bombarded by mind control, poisoned products, and engineered chaos. Leading the way are corrupt officials, corporate oligarchs, banksters, and technocrats, extracting our wealth, eroding our liberties, and stymieing true progress. Behind the vanguard of these elitist pirates, plundering the planet, lurks the Ninth Circle cult, binding these criminals together. At once we must confront our nemesis, mounted upon a throne of wicked ostentation and 2,000 years of consolidated power. Why is the Epstein situation so convoluted? What is up with the Charlie Kirk aftermath? Why is China invading the Americas? Why is there rampant immigration and transsexual nonsense across the West? Why does the law protect pedophiles? Who seems to never catch heat when there's a fire? The Roman Catholic Church. Peter Thiel and his homunculus J.D. Vance are Catholic. Fauci, the originator of woke and science and the face of Trump's Operation Warp Speed, is Jesuit trained. RFK Jr., Rubio, Biden, Pelosi, Newsom, and a myriad of others are quiet Catholics in charge of domestic and foreign policies. Independent media pundits like Alex Jones, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes are unabashed Catholics but claim to deliver hard truths. I have no idea if these people fill the lower ranks of the cult or not, but they may have ulterior motives and loyalties that are counterintuitive to what they project. It doesn't matter what you believe, but what they believe affects us all. Foreign entities have hijacked America, and although some culprits are conspicuous, others have the benefit of using benevolence as a disguise. Everyday American Catholics aren't criminals. However, like most of us in some form or fashion, are unknowingly contributing to the beast. The Vatican today are the ringleaders of the supreme sin, child sacrifice. The Church of Rome is the oldest and wealthiest institution in human history and claims absolute authority in both the spiritual and temporal realms, subject to no law but its own. They are the only religion with a seat at the UN receiving special diplomatic, legal, and financial privileges. They are a transnational criminal organization connected with human trafficking, arms dealing, murder, and money laundering. They are subsidized by our tax dollars, by our donations, and they commit tax fraud to avoid losing tax incentives. Above all is the Vatican's mandate regarding the silencing and covering up of child rape within the Catholic Church. America wasn't meant to be in the death throes of a resurrected Roman Empire. The Republic died and a corporation took its place. Beneath the illusion of reality, a war wages physically, intellectually, and spiritually for total domination. Don't fall into the memory hole and be herded into dystopia. Let's take back our agency from these bloodsuckers who divide us and profit from our ignorance. Are you tired of business as usual? Well, so was Jesus. He was a revolutionary, not a slave. There are serious issues in our house we need to address. Find what matters to you and do something about it. The Pope is a hydra and his friends are in high places, but they bleed and breathe like you and me, and by their fruit you will recognize them. The time of being played as fools by the puppets of power has come to an end. The age of truth and justice is upon us if only we seize it and run with it. If you believe in the protection of the innocent and preservation of the future, now is the time to lend a hand to the brave individuals of the International Common Law Court of Justice as they are spearheading the battle against our greatest perpetrator of crimes against humanity. All criminal roads lead to Rome.
The city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens.